I despise Donald Trump. And I'll say it. I compare Donald Trump to Hitler. It's just power. This power and often, and I see it in my business and my life that I've been involved in. As soon as you give somebody a position, it goes to their head and they become power hungry.
The time has come for us to stand together and sing the new global anti-Trump anthem. Make America great again. Leave the rest of the world alone.
So how do Canadians view the United States?
Mostly the same way the Pharisees and the Sadducees viewed Jesus Christ. I guess they want to crucify everybody. If you're successful, it's jealousy, and that's what it is.
Ottawa, the capital of this strange, cold land, even though it's summer when we were up here. This is the Washington, D.C. of Canada, everyone. So impressive. In case you didn't hear, Canada just picked their new prime minister, and it was a big deal up here. They didn't like their old prime minister, a guy named Justin Trudeau. So he quit like a little baby, said, "I'm not running this country anymore." Can you imagine? So they had to pick a new leader. It was very contentious up here. But that is nothing compared to the political drama going on up here. Forget about all that. They're focused on us.
We're rolling.
Okay, everybody. Nick and Kim here. Say hey, Kim.
Hello, YouTube.
We're here in front of the Canadian Capitol building. That's their version of where they make all their laws here in Ottawa. It's a beautiful building here. All the decisions are being made in there. And the biggest thing going on up here right now in Canada is how much they hate us, you and me, Americans. Canada just had their election up here, and it influenced everything. We're going to get into who and why and what happened, but Canada is pretty much over us now. I'll tell you what, Canada itself is not really doing very well, and I think them focusing so much on us is taken away from their own focus on themselves. There's so much dirt and drama to talk about right now, and you guys love dirt and drama. So here we go from Ottawa, and we're gonna get started right now about what's going on up here in Canada with the smoke-filled sky. Canada hates us, that's so sad. Canada hates us, they're so mad. Okay, there's your song. Oh my God. Well, I'm not going to tell them what we're all about. God, this is just... Oh, they have a F Trump sign in their front yard. Everyone's so busy, aren't they? Little busy Canadian bees. No time to frolic. There's work to be done. Bills need paying. Canada has a lot of issues with their cost of living, mister. You think it's expensive where you live. The cost of everything is up here. The population's dropping, the immigration, the crime, the drugs, all up here. They're starting to look just like us. Maybe that's why they hate us so much now. So let me catch you up on what's going on up here. So a month before this dispatch, Canada had their elections for their new president prime minister. The conservative guy up here was way ahead. But then our President Trump started to bully Canada. And everybody here was like, do we want Trump to be able to push us around? Do we want his conservative buddy to run our country? He says he's going to add tariffs and make us the 51st state? No, we don't want that. So they picked their liberal guy to run the place. A protest vote. Even though they all agreed the last liberal guy did a terrible job. Oh well, too late, right? And from what I hear, the vibe up here is pure misery. Everybody's stressed out about the election. Half of them are pissed off about the results and they're worried about Canada's future. And half of them are worried they made another wrong decision. So everybody in the great nation of Canada is hunkering down for who knows how long. Ottawa's Canada's capital. That's why we're here. The eastern side of Canada has so many people, they control the whole country's direction. Whatever Ontario and Quebec want, the rest of the country has to do it. It's their California and New York. Canada has 3 big problems right now: immigration, rising costs, and unaffordable housing. And now tariffs. Okay, 4. That's still not too bad. At least they don't have to worry about the earth blowing up like their neighbors do. They're jealous of the United States, Canadians.
I'm jealous of anybody that does better than they do. And
So we're losers.
it's jealousy.
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 What are they jealous of?
Success.
What are we successful at that you're not?
They seem to have more money, more. They do that. Well, things are a lot better in a lot of ways. You got the big, you got the art, what do you call, the big movies, anything, sports stars, all that, you know. Well, Canada has their share, but not to the degree. I just think it's, what is it with mankind, you know, that makes us, you know, we hate anybody that does better than us.
Oh, look, there's a Cybertruck down there. Somebody's cheating. Okay, so we're downtown. Keep it rolling, Kim. We had to move locations because we were getting the weirdos around, harassed by the weirdos. So even though Canada has a ton of their own problems, they are obsessed with hating Donald Trump. And you and me, kinda. And they're usually so friendly and nice, right? The boomers here, they're the worst. They say rejecting Donald Trump is more important than even fixing our own country. Can you believe that? That'll show them, right? Canada is pissed. Don't poke the beaver. We realized as soon as we got here what the problem is up here. It's their state-owned media. It's called the CBC. It's like CNN, but way worse. Their CBC gets a big part of their funding from the Canadian government. And all that channel does all day long is spew Trump hate.
Bothered cabinet members, bully people, may put the center on himself.
It's a cocktail of fear, concern, and confusion.
Coming up next, the political climate in the U.S. is prompting some Canadian musicians to cancel their tours there.
Policy says
No wonder they hate us here. The CBC is like anti-Trump all day.
Elon Musk says he is leaving Doge.
They're obsessed with us. Where's the Canada news? Everything is anti-Donald Trump news.
the U.S. government is now looking to cancel all such federal contracts.
Thought to be jokes, turning us into the 51st state.
I think there's a lot of misinformation that's hitting folks south of the border.
If you can get people to vote on a single issue, or maybe 2 or 3 issues, you can control their vote.
Well, I watch a news channel where you seem to get mostly truth. It's called Fox News.
Yeah, you watch Fox News?
Yeah. Well, you get some truth. What we have over here, what we have in Canada, like mostly coming out of, and it's coming out of everywhere, the whole Western world. You got what we call fake news. You know, it's fake news. And what we have here, we have in Canada. They take the worst of the fake news that America spews out, and we got the condensed version of fake news. We got fake news. And I could say something else that starts with an F too, but I don't want because you might record it.
And of course, there was a huge PR campaign that's been going on for decades. This anti-Americanism in Canada with CBC, CNN North type deal. We call them the Communist Broadcasting Corporation. So they've done a good job. Like, as far as PR campaigns go, they've done a good job.
I watch the local news here, the CBC, and all day long it's anti-Trump. Trump is bad. You should hate him.
Yeah, well, what else? Well, they're in the business of selling ads. So that's my, I'm 84, so I've been around. And I think media have changed quite a bit since I was in my 20s.
I mean, it's bad. They're even telling the influencers up here how to frame their social media to make Canada look good. What? And some people say, yeah, we're just about close to Britain now. Pretty soon one day, if you're saying bad things about the government on your social media, they're going to show up to your house on a horse and arrest you. A buddy of mine told me that even in the schools, the 8-year-olds are getting told Donald Trump's a terrible person by their teachers. Aren't we supposed to leave politics out of schools? Not here. I had never experienced a state-owned media broadcast, but their CBC is just totally over-the-top brainwashing. It was anti-Trump, anti-US, anti-us all day.
New details this morning on the impact of the U.S. trade war on Canada. We are getting a clear picture today on how the U.S. president's punishing tariffs are being felt in this country and just how hard they're hitting Canadian manufacturers. Statistics Canada this morning released its report on the country's exports for the month of April, and the data is grim.
Oh my God, we just turned on the news. Here we go again. Do they have anything to talk about that doesn't involve us and him? No wonder they hate us, right? Now, before I show you more they hate us stuff, I have some good news to report. I know. We were walking around downtown and met an actual sensible person. Now, she didn't want to be on camera because she's worried that her friends and family and coworkers are going to hate her for saying it. But she said it anonymously. What is going on? Why does everybody hate Trump up here?
It's because they're not smart people. They hate Trump because you think he's attacking them. But personally, I think he's just trying to shake us up to do what we are supposed to do as a country. I like his policies, I like his common sense, and I like his faith. We don't have that here. We have the reverse. So I watch the CBC all day long. Trump's a piece of crap. Well, do you know why?
Because it's state-funded propaganda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not, yes, that's right.
But I mean, it's like, focus on your own problems.
Exactly.
Instead of, we're sitting there, it's all day, Trump's bad. He's going to kick him out of Harvard. He's messing with other countries. How about y'all fix your own problem?
Exactly what I tell everybody when they start. I say, don't worry about Trump. Come back over here. We're in Canada and we have our own issues. And our issues are far worse. And they don't see it. They're just, it's like, put that out in the atmosphere and the environment and they go with it. We're like, it's like, if we even get a thought that we can do something good, they shut us down. So I'm not sure how to fix it all.
Well, you had a chance to vote out the party and the people voted in the same damn party.
Did they really? It's scary to think. But that's where we're at.
Well, I'm sorry, but I will say it is clean, it is safe.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Your country.
Well, it was a lot cleaner years ago. I just see the old. I feel that we're bankrupt. And there's a lot more homelessness on the streets, a lot of mental illness. Mm-hmm. Really heartbreaking.
Who do you blame that on? I was told Vancouver legalized drugs.
That's right.
And then it all spilled into the rest of the country.
Yep.
I got it.
Yeah.
See, I've done my homework.
You have. So that's where we're at. How do we start cleaning this up?
Okay, so we did get one sensible person who was willing to talk to us. Didn't want to be on camera. And then at the very end, we said, well, you almost voted in the right party to turn things around. And she said, nope, in order to do it, we're going to have to get on our knees. It's going to have to get so bad that we're finally going to wake up. And we're not bad enough now yet. And until that happens, we're just going to keep doing the same thing the same way and continue to suffer. Well, I don't want Canada to have to get on their knees, but they might have to. I saw your hat. Tell me about your hat.
I gave it away.
Yeah, tell me about your hat and how do you feel about all the stuff that's going on?
I love my hat, and I'm sick and tired of all the stuff that's going on. We've been friends for years between Canada and the U.S. I've got a brother and a sister that live in the U.S., and I don't want to lose contact with them. And I'm afraid if things go the way they are, we're going to lose contact with a lot of our family members. And that, so business-wise, we need each other, 100%. Because we trade back and forth and so on. I've sold stuff to the U.S. myself in my business, and I bought stuff in the U.S. for my business, and that's gone. I can't do that anymore. So I think, and for me, you know, I'm 75 years old. I shouldn't really care anymore, but I fear for my grandchildren. They're the ones that are going to suffer the most, because we'll ride this storm for the next couple of years, but then in 20 years from now, it's going to be a whole different story. So hopefully, when they have this meeting with Congress and the judges decide they're going to stop Mr. What's-his-name, that it'll stop, because the nonsense has to stop. And to me, I think it's just a game for him, just a playing game. That's all he's doing, it's playing games. So,
are you one of the type, I've talked to a lot of people and they say, I don't hate Americans, I hate Donald Trump.
I despise Donald Trump. And I'll say it, I compare Donald Trump to Hitler. You know, it's just this power that, and often, and I see it in my business and my life that I've been involved in, as soon as you give somebody a position, it goes to their head and they become power hungry. And that's exactly what's happened to him. He has a position, the most powerful position in the world, and he's gone power hungry. It's gone crazy, you know, so that's why I say a lot of people do compare him to Hitler. You know, maybe some of his ideas, there's nothing wrong with them, but it's the way he goes about it.
Yeah, I always ask people, what news do you watch?
We watch the Canadian news, the CBC news. Sometimes I'll switch over to CNN just to see what's going on the other side, but mainly we watch the Canadian news, the CBC.
Okay. Tell me what you just said.
What? Well, we trust in God who doesn't trust in Trump.
Okay.
Even though he thinks he is God. Problem with Trump, he doesn't believe in democracy. He's the leader of the biggest democracy, he doesn't believe in democracy. When he gets voted out in a democratic election, he said, I ain't leaving. And that was said about the third term. Isn't that against the Constitution kind of thing? You know, he seems to think, well, people of Russia have to do whatever Putin wants because he's the leader. People of China have to do what their leader wants. Well, I'm the leader of America, they have to do whatever I want. No, because you see, America's supposed to be a democracy, not a dictatorship. So it's not the same as being the leader of, you know, Russia or North Korea, right? Somebody should tell him that. And of course, there's all the, when he says, the tariffs, they're going to be tough for a while, they're going to be tough. Yeah, they're going to be tough. They're not going to be tough for him and his billionaire buddies. So what he's sort of doing is playing a game of political and, you know, economic chess, using the American people as pawns. That's what he's basically doing, right?
How many other people in Canada feel like this?
What's that?
How many other people in Canada feel like that?
Well, it's like this. The way people in Canada feel about General Trump is the way anybody would feel about the leader of a powerful nation who keeps threatening to take over their country. You know, how would the average American feel about the leader of China if he kept talking about taking over America, how we're going to make America into a Chinese state? Right? That's how we feel. It's part of it's the attitude too, right?
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Here, check out my anti-Trump anthem.
You got an anti-Trump anthem. Oh, the time has come. I gotta see this. The time has come. You want to read it off?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Read it off to me. Here. He's got an anti-Trump anthem printed out.
The time has come for us to stand together and sing the new global anti-Trump anthem. Make America great again. Leave the rest of the world alone. Just look at them on YouTube under my name, Andrew Baranovsky. I got a few of them.
Now, we're visiting from the U.S.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the United States right now?
You know, I was a senior officer in the Army, and I learned not to comment on things that I wasn't really competent to comment on. And my daughter has a government appointment here, and I wouldn't want someone connecting me on, on any social media.
Oh, that's fine. Do people give you shit about that Texas shirt? I know that the countries are not getting along very well right now.
No. Everybody that makes a comment, they're like, go Longhorns. So, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. How do you feel about the whole U.S. versus Canada thing?
It's sad. It's sad because we're good partners and a little bit of tension now. But I think it'll it'll get back to where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like going to the States. I like going to see, go down and see some games and stuff like that. I enjoy it. So,
So you're not going to boycott us like a lot of people say?
No. Like me, I'm busy right now, but for sure. Like it's unfair to boycott the people who are just trying to make a living down there. So try to support them as we can.
Yeah, man. We're at the University of Ottawa, and we're going to talk to students here about what they think about all this stuff. So how do students here feel about the United States and Canada right now? I know there's a lot of stuff going on between the countries. How do you feel about it?
I'm not a political guy. I don't know. I don't really think about it, but I think that economically it's pretty bad. At least with tariffs and all that, and like worry. But I don't know much else.
Yeah. Where do most of the students here get their like news and stuff?
Instagram.
Yeah?
Instagram, probably.
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah. What do you know about the U.S.? Do you like the U.S.? Do you not like it? What do you think of the United States?
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Freedom, everything.
Yeah. Now this is the most polarized Canadians have been in a long time. Nobody can remember the last time the Liberals and Conservatives here have been so pissed at each other. And nobody can recall a time when so many Canadians hate us. You and me. And we didn't even do anything to them. I thought we were besties, the Canadians say. It's been a 150-year friendship. We fought in wars together. We had your back on 9/11. Yes, they did, and we'll never forget. But Canada's feelings are hurt. They blame us for a lot of their misery. Can you believe that? All right, you see somebody with a Canadian flag. They look like they're patriotic. Let's see if they'll talk to us about Ottawa, and especially talk to us about how much they hate America. Knock, knock, it's your favorite YouTuber from America. Donald Trump fan.
I'm British, so I can't offer you much insight, to be honest.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't. Okay. I don't know if this place even speaks English. This might be a French place, but let's find out. Hi, we have a YouTube channel, and we're wondering if we can talk to you. No? Okay, bye. All right, we have a YouTube channel. All right, we're trying to find somebody to talk to. We've knocked on a few doors. Can I interview you?
No, I have to get going.
Okay, you got stuff to do. All right. Everybody's so busy here in Canada.
I don't know. It's again, the Americans are fine. It's Donald Trump is the problem. So Americans are cool. As far as I care.
What is it about Donald Trump that makes you all?
I don't know. He just goes around stirring up everything. Things are okay, but he says he wants to make America rich again, and seems to be going the opposite direction as far as I know. Yeah.
A lot of people. I watch your CBC news.
Yeah.
And all day long, it's we hate Trump. Trump's bad. U.S. is bad. Is that a new thing?
No, well, U.S. is bad might be a new thing, but Trump is bad has always been, really. Trump has never looked friendly on us. He says he can do better without us, so we have to show him that we can do better without him, too. It sucks that the U.S. vote him in, for sure, but it is what it is.
So the new guy up here, his name's Mark Carney. He says, Canada will never yield to the U.S. We're not for sale. Not our water, our oil, or our land. But so many people up here, they see right through it. They're like, you're Justin Trudeau light. You're just going to make everything the same. People voted for him, even though many say Canada is on the way to socialism. But despite all that, he's pretty popular up here.
Canada, you did it! You chose hope over hate, unity over division.
Trump, take note. This is what democracy looks like.
Mark Carney is the leader of Canada and what the world needs right now.
So there's a couple women walking here in the neighborhood, and they are just having a nice time. One of them has a Myrtle Beach shirt on. And I said, oh, Myrtle Beach, that's by us. Come see us again this summer. And they both went, no thanks. Well, we don't want you anyway. Everybody knows about the tariffs, of course. We're charging more for Canadian goods. So as a form of protest, they say they're not buying any of our stuff anymore. Our McDonald's, our Starbucks, our bourbons. They definitely don't want our Teslas. And all these folks in this neighborhood here, they say they're not coming to visit us this summer. And all the snowbirders here say they're not coming to visit us this winter either. And apparently, all the Canadian second homeowners in Arizona and Florida say they're selling their second homes too, as a form of protest, I think. Well, that's just mean. Well, they say that, but we discovered they couldn't quit us if they tried. Look at that Canadian flag in the background. What a beautiful neighborhood. The Walmart Super Center is packed. Starbucks is packed. KFC's packed, so's Taco Bell. Aren't these all American companies? Subway's packed. To Canada. Look at all the US products going into Canada. But they're not gonna buy it, they say. They're gonna have to. Because we make everything.
I see the golden arches.
Yep. I don't see a lot of goods coming out of Canada. All the goods are coming into Canada. Here we are coming into Canada. A lot of people are going in. I see a lot of plates from the US. So we're going there, but supposedly they're not coming to see us. Look at all the cars. My God, it is packed at Flying J. These people aren't boycotting. Look at all the cars. We are at Flying J, which is a US-based truck stop owned by Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway. And it is packed in this parking lot. I mean, God, look at all the cars. Point made, America. Here we are at Tim Hortons. If you know anything about Canada, this is like their big giant coffee restaurant thing. They're everywhere since 1964. And it's a US company. A lot of people don't know that. They're not boycotting that. Are you boycotting any US stuff? Because I know a lot of people up here are like...
I guess, yeah. If I see Canadian, I'd definitely go and try buy more Canadian. But I don't really go looking at the labels. But a lot of stores do put Canadian products, and I'd pick those over the American.
Yeah.
But I don't really go out of my way to. Again, as I've seen in the news, you stop buying American, you're not really hurting the American. You're hurting these Canadian store owners that bought all this stuff, now that's stuck with it, so.
Are people boycotting American products and refusing to come on vacation?
Oh yeah, well you know that. You know that.
I mean, I've heard it, but are you personally boycotting? And
Well, I mean, I don't usually vacation that
hold it up here
much.
so I can hear you back there.
I'm not really boycotting American products per se. I mean, it's kind of hard because, you see, made in Canada with imported ingredients, so it's like the auto thing, right? It's kind of hard because it's, we just make things here and make things there, right? And this business is about we buy too many, got to bring manufacture back to America. Buy too many things made in China and India. Well, yeah, but you know why people buy those products, right? Because they make them cheaper there. Americans don't buy products made in China and these other countries because they want to support the country. No, because it's cheaper. A lot of Canadians don't. Up until now, a lot of Canadians didn't really buy Canadian-made products. We buy our products from China and Taiwan because they're cheaper.
Look at the big, giant, fancy mall. Okay, so I talked to several people in stores, and this store over here, and that store, and I was like, hey, do you ever have anybody that comes in that says, we only want to buy Canadian stuff, not American stuff? And everyone's like, no, not really. It's in the grocery stores, but in here, nobody's specifically saying, we don't want to buy American stuff. Where's the Canada only? Well, it's probably because almost everything in here is either made in China or comes from America somehow. Okay, so here we are in Calgary on day 2 of our adventure here in Canada. And it's about 9 in the morning. It's a nice, pleasant day here. I'm at the grocery store, Safeway, which is their chain here in Canada. I was told that a lot of the labels and the signs say, buy Canadian, don't buy the American stuff over there. Let's find out if that's true or not. I mean, they are really pushing this Canada stuff here. Canada, Canada, only Canada stuff. Don't buy that stuff down there. That's bad, people. Oh my God, it's even on the ketchup? They're labeling it now. Canada doesn't have cows? Ah, too bad, Canada. You guys don't make maxi pads. You're gonna have to buy ours. Yuck, Canadian cheese. Ugh. Hey, that's not made here. That's made in Philadelphia. Liars. $10 for a little thing of orange juice? No way. $10 for that. And of course, it's Canadian. They're encouraging you buy our expensive orange juice, not the American stuff. The American Miracle Whip is $6.99, but the Canadian Miracle Whip is $14. But buy the Canadian one, because we're mad at America. I got some blueberries from California. Too bad, Canada. I hear that Canadians are boycotting United States products because they're mad at the United States. Is that true?
Correct. 25% tariff, like who wants to pay it? So like they are like more going towards the Canadian product.
Have you personally chosen a Canadian product over a US product?
Why to pay more when we can get the same thing in a lesser price?
Yeah. What's an example of something that you bought that was Canadian on purpose and not US?
So I'll give you an example. Like I do Uber Eats, so I have seen like liquor bottles. So all these stores, they are not been selling the American bottles. They are preferring Canadian bottles. Even the customers, they are actually preferring the Canadian ones.
Okay. So you do Uber Eats.
Yeah.
And people are buying more Canadian bottles of booze than US bottles.
Right.
Even the booze. Even at the airport, this is a fancy wine place, and it's like, enjoy Canadian wines, don't drink American wine.
With the current U.S. political climate, Leslie Hudson worries being non-binary, queer, and Canadian could make them a target.
Oh my God, it's just on and on and on and on and on.
And from Trump's point of view, there may be good reason for the U.S. to exit stage left sooner rather than later.
I would say what Trump most wants is the peace.
It's Sunday morning at about 9 o'clock, and it's been about 45 minutes of Trump again, all morning. They are just absolutely obsessed.
And it's basically a body blow to the Canadian economy. I'd like to share with you 3 different charts, starting with our overall exports, and they were down substantially, 11% in April. That was the biggest monthly drop going back since the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh my God, this is actually really fascinating. This is crazy. I did not either know that they're brainwashing Canadians. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're spitting out, and they're buying it because they don't know that what's really going on down there. They're telling the Canadian people, like, this is what the Americans are thinking, and this is what Trump.
Charles is just the second sitting monarch to open Canada's parliament, and many hoped that beyond symbolism, it might convince Donald Trump to drop his rhetoric about Canada becoming a 51st state.
Why do so many Canadians hate Donald Trump right now?
Well, I think a lot of people haven't traveled to the United States, and they hear the media and stuff like that. Like, am I a big fan of Donald? No, but did I buy his hat? Yes, I did. And I don't think they hate him, but I think they hate the way he has to be on Twitter and and all these smart remarks about everybody that says anything. And I think they'd be a lot better off if he stayed off that and acted like a president. And I think a lot more Canadians would adapt to that.
Elbows up. That's a hockey term. It means get ready to fight. Canada's got their elbows up. Look out. Look, there's no doubt that the USA beats Canada in everything that we take pride in. Our military's way bigger. We have way more money. Our women are way hotter. But they think they're morally better than we are. Well, who's right depends on who you are, where you live. But this whole beef between our countries, I think Canada's going to get over it. I mean, they're going to have to. We live right next door. I'm pretty sure they want to be nice. And they want to be loved. Just like you do. Smoke through the building with the hazy smoke on our last afternoon in Ottawa. Maybe that's symbolic of a hazy future for the Canadian government. Something, I don't know, but wildfire smoke seeping in. It's just a beautiful sunset. The end.